Shalom, shalom. Let's go. This is not a beer, by the way. This is a ginger root brew. Ginger root. There's always a scoffer. He's drinking the Coors Light. He's drinking the Coors Light. And when you go on this page, it's empty. But he's always looking to accuse you, to bring you down to his level. Nothing. Nothing. But yeah, this is not a beer. Okay? There's always one with a blank page. Yeah, looking to accuse. And you go on his page, tumbleweeds are blowing around. He's not doing a damn thing. But the day of the worthless man is coming to an end. Your days of being worthless and stealing oxygen from the rest of us men that are working hard. Shalom. Barakatah Yahweh. Barakatah Yahweh Shai. Barakatah Yahweh. Barakatah Yahweh Shai. Call Halimla Yahweh. Bahashem Yahweh Shai. Bahashem Rakal All praises be to the Most High, Yahweh, in the name of his Son and our Lord and Savior, Yahweh Shai. Much respect and honor to the brothers that are doing the work, helping to edify the body and feed the lambs in truth and sincerity, and risking their lives and freedom to do so. And to the beloved ladies of the hopeful elect, to you we say Shalom and Barakatham, which means bless you. So we're starting to see things come to a head when we stop and take a step back and analyze the big picture. We're seeing that the Most High is moving the chess pieces around. And what I mean by that is when we understand the prophecies of this C-hip or this digital implant being mandated, the Lord is going to cause a huge strike over there near the Middle East or in the valley of Yehoshaphat. Some sort of a first strike that's going to occur between Russia and NATO. And the Ukraine is being used as a middle ground between NATO and Gog and Magog, or the bear. So when we look at this thing from a spiritual analytical perspective, the Most High is in striking distance of NATO. And then in light of recent events, North Korea is testing their new long-range intercontinental ballistic missile that could reach the eastern coast of the U.S. and the western seaboard. So when we put these pieces together, just like we have been teaching, when they mandate this mark of the beast or this digital implant, where we know that recently the World Economic Forum made an announcement that they're moving forward to mandate this thing. So the men of the Lord, we have been mocked and scoffed, called crazy, called conspiracy theorists. But now we're seeing these prophecies begin to gel or come together. So the glue is bringing the pieces together. So you fake prophets, where is your voice? Addressing the World Economic Forum. So when you look at this thing from a big picture perspective, the Most High is moving the chess pieces around to strike. So he's going to use Gog and Magog and their nuclear capabilities, along with their allies. China is nuclear capable. North Korea is nuclear capable, along with Iran, nuclear capable. And then we got to add India into the mix. India is also nuclear capable, that have joined the BRICS alliance. Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa. So the chess pieces are being moved around within striking distance. That's right, India and Iran, which, so we're starting to see these things come together when they begin to mandate a global execution of the Mot B, or the mark of the beast. For those of you that are new, the implantable device that lines up with Revelation 13, verse 16 on down, Revelation 14, verse 8, 9, and 10, Revelation 16, 1 and 2, Revelation 20. So I'm going to go here to Ezekiel 12. So things are getting very interesting and are ramping up. Let's go to Ezekiel, the book of Ezekiel, chapter 12. The book of Ezekiel, chapter 12, verse 21. And the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Son of man, what is that proverb that ye have heard? Son of man, what is that proverb that ye have in the land of Israel, saying, the days are prolonged, and every vision faileth? So we have mockers and scoffers in the last days saying, we've always heard about the end of days, but you don't understand the scripture. One day to the Most High is as 1,000 years, and 1,000 years is as one day. So we're in the final leg of going into the third millennium. So we're at the end of that 2,700 years or so, approaching 2,800 years. So we're in the third day in the eyes of the Most High. So this is why, if you're not a prophet, be quiet. Put a banana in your mouth and dip it in some banana pudding or whipped cream and feed your face that way if you can't be fed of the spiritual manna from heaven. So we're in the last leg of the last days. So we got mockers saying every vision is failing. So when we were talking about the so-called UFOs being the chariots of the Lord, then the Pentagon announced standing up a watchtower or a UFO task force, the chariots of the Lord. So we're not hearing any mockers and scoffers anymore regarding the so-called UFOs. That tells me your slave master is your God. When he speaks, you become a good boy, a good boy. So when we were telling you these are the chariots of the Lord, you called us conspiracy theorists. You called us crazy, or we're wearing a tin can hat, or aluminum foil hat. Brother Gabar Ayash, yep. Sirach 27 and 28. Mockery and reproach are from the proud, but vengeance as a lion shall lie and wait for them. So all you proud Americans are getting ready to become roasted, flame broiled. There's going to be a backyard barbecue. And Edomite barbecue is coming. Edomites are the so-called white men, Romans, that are ruling today, pursuant to Job 9 and 24. Let's go back here. Ezekiel 12, verse 22. Son of man, what is that proverb that ye have in the land of Israel, saying, the days are prolonged, and every vision faileth? Tell them, therefore, thus saith the Lord God, I will make this proverb to cease, and they shall no more use it as a proverb in Israel, but say unto them, the days are at hand, and the effect of every vision. So the days of judgment are approaching. The nuclear holocaust or the burnt offering unto the Lord is approaching. We were mocked and scoffed about these nuclear missiles. And then when Russia threatened blatantly that they have a new hypersonic missile that can reach America in 25 to 30 minutes, you good boys, you bow down to your slave master once again. You start mocking the prophets. So you don't have a spiritual eye. You just rely on whatever your slave master says, and then it becomes law. So you're looking at us as regular men. You're not thinking in the spirit. Maybe something big is getting ready to go down. Instead of these so-called Negroes hanging out on the block, smoking weed and selling drugs, they're holding Bibles. They're telling us that something is coming. Something big is getting ready to happen. Nuclear war is coming. Martial law is coming. Riots and race riots are coming. So you must know this is not normal. Seeing us out in mass, out in force, prophesying. The beloved brother Shaphan of the 12, Shalom Barakatah. Ezekiel 33, verse 33. And when this cometh to pass, lo, it will come, then shall they know that a prophet hath been among them. Most jakes are waiting to get jacked up, and then they're going to know that a prophet has been among them. When you're being pinned down and force-fed an injection, you're going to know a prophet has been among you. Or when you see a nuclear warhead coming towards the East Coast, you're going to know a prophet has been among you. Or when you're being stamped with a digital tracking device, where you got a glowing blue light underneath your skin, you're going to know that a prophet has been among you. This is not a game. The beloved brother GMS Kabar Dama, Luke 21 and 9. But when ye shall hear of wars and commotions, be not terrified, for these things must first come to pass, but the end is not by and by. Let's go to Luke 21. Let's go up to verse 5. And as some spake of the temple, how it was adorned with goodly stones and gifts, he said, as for these things which ye behold, the days will come in the which there shall not be left one stone upon another that shall not be thrown down. So the Messiah is talking about 70 AD. But we're also going to see some of these events take place in modern times. So that is a physical temple that he was talking about. But now the stones of the Most High are the Lord's elect that fell away, but are now being rebuilt back together. The tabernacle of David. This is why only the prophets should be speaking. If you're not a prophet, you should be quiet. Luke 21 and 7. And they asked him, saying, Master, but when shall these things be? And what sign shall be when these things shall come to pass? And he said, Take heed that ye be not deceived, for many shall come in my name, saying, I am Hamashiach, and the time draweth near. Go ye not therefore after them. So we're seeing a lot of bug outs claim to be the Messiah. These jakes are bugged out, talking about they're the Savior. Where's your chariots? Why didn't we see you crack the sky? Where is your action taking down the international bankers, the global elites? I know you're not riding on a skateboard with sparks coming out, talking about you're coming back with fire. You're bugged out of your damn mind. The scriptures say that the Lord will come with fire, not no damn hovercraft with fireworks exploding on both sides of it. A lot of these jakes are bugged out of their damn mind. And Eve, stop letting them bust into you. You're helping to contaminate the rest of the world. Luke 21:9. But when ye shall hear of wars and commotion, be not terrified, for these things must first come to pass, but the end is not by and by. So the nations are being gathered for war. So we're seeing a preemptive measures taking place. These are preliminary actions. So they're testing their nuclear missiles that can reach America. North Korea is doing this. Russia is doing this. So is Iran. But we're not at the end until they mandate this digital device that everybody is going to have to take it. So some sort of a catastrophe is going to take place here in America. Probably an electromagnetic pulse weapon or a low-level yield tactical nuke, which are the smaller nukes. Luke 21:10. Then said he unto them, nation shall rise against nation and kingdom against kingdom. So that's what we're going to see unfold. Let's keep going. Okay? So we're going to see these events escalate. Tensions are on the rise. So we're seeing all of the cards being stacked together of the prophecies that we have already spoken of. Prophesy means to say before. All right? And these bugged out jakes are not the Messiah. Where are your fleet of chariots or so-called UFOs coming back with fire? And for you mockers, when your slave master at the Pentagon stood up a so-called UFO task force, you were so quiet, we can hear a mouse peeing on cotton. That's how quiet you got. Most jakes love their slave master, and they love and trust his ways. And everything he says becomes written in stone in their hearts. Let's keep going. Ezekiel 12:22. Son of man, what is that proverb that ye have in the land of Israel, saying the days are prolonged, and every vision faileth? Tell them, therefore, thus saith the Lord God, I will make this proverb to cease, and they shall no more use it as a proverb in Israel. But say unto them, the days are at hand, and the effect of every vision. For there shall no more be any vain vision, nor flattering divination within the house of Israel. So now we're going to see prophets try to take credit for what we've already been teaching, starting with the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, like IUIC. I didn't say the chip was at that time, moron. That's how they talk. I told you they were going to transition to it under the central bank digital currency. No, you did not. So the central bank digital currency is the platform by which to link the banks, the regional banks, with people, which are commodities. If you have a social security number, a birth certificate, so they want to take and essentially barcode humans, which are already earmarked as commodities. So they just want to take that a step further and give us a barcode or a mark that links us into the digital grid or the beast. So they're using these man-made threats like climate change, or they want to marshal everyone out of the rural areas into smart cities, into the small smart cities that are on the digital and electrical grid, water, heating, air, electricity, internet, food, clothing. You see, that's getting delivered to your homes. So this is why everything has, pretty much the department stores are growing obsolete. Now we got Amazon. You see, Amazon Market. So everything is transitioning into a digital plug and play or push button for convenience to link every man, woman, and child to the digital grid network. That's right, the 15-minute smart cities. So they're using this climate change, saying that the air is dirty or contaminated. So we got to bring everyone into a smaller footprint. We got to decrease your carbon footprint and track your carbon usage. And we got to consolidate everyone into a smaller, more manageable, smart city. So a grievous sore is going to fall upon those that take the digital imprint, which is an implantable digital global positioning electronic purchase and selling device, where you can buy and sell goods, but it's a physical chip that's going to be implanted subdermally underneath the skin surface. Brother Shaphat of the 12, be watchful and strengthen the things which remain. Brother Shaphat of the 12, Revelation 3 and 2. Be watchful and strengthen the things which remain that are ready to die. For I have not found thy works perfect before God. Remember, therefore, how thou hast received and heard, and hold fast and repent. If therefore thou shalt not watch, I will come on thee as a thief, and thou shalt not know what hour I will come upon thee. So the Lord is going to come as a thief in the night, right at the brink of Armageddon or the Third World War. So the elect of the Most High, the anointed chosen ones of Israel, are going to scarcely or barely be taken up into the chariots of the Lord and saved. You see? So Yahweh Shai is going to time this thing perfectly. And we're going to be caught up into his wings, which are the chariots of the Lord. Adawan Ratazah, which means Lord willing, I'm amongst that number, among the saints. So there's virtually no other way of survival other than the chambers of these so-called UFOs. And you mockers are quiet now that your slave master verified. These are outer dimensional beings. These are the angels of the Lord that the men of the Lord have been teaching. These are our brothers. How many saw that video of that old so-called white man, an Edomite, just before he dropped dead? He said that he witnessed seeing dark-skinned angels, approximately 7 to 10 feet tall, exiting these craft while he was in outer space. So all things are coming to light. Somebody post that. I think it's Luke 8 and 7. That nothing shall be secret anymore. Let's read this one. Brother Gabar Ayash. Beautiful lesson you did today, Ak. I saw that lesson and I just got motivated. Psalm 68 and 17. The chariots of God are 20,000, even thousands of angels. The Lord is among them, as in Sinai, in the holy place. So these are not little green men from Mars, bug outs. These are the angels of the Lord. These are our brothers. They're just waiting for us to link up with the 144,000 mighty men. So they're going to help come together with the ground force of the Lord's men on earth, the hopeful elect of the house of David. And the Lord is going to turn up the spirit of the ancient warrior and the mighty men of the house of David that are going to reunite or connect with the brethren coming from the third heaven, the fourth dimension. Where are the mockers regarding the mark of the beast? The World Economic Forum, your gods, your slave masters, just announced They're ready to mandate globally the implementation of this mark, a physical device where you cannot function in society. You cannot travel. You cannot buy or sell. You called us crazy that we should be wearing an aluminum foil or a tin can on our head. Where is your cause? Produce your cause. Bring forth your strong reason, saith the Lord, the God of Jacob. Let's keep going. Yep. Brother Gabar Agash, Luke 8:17. For nothing is secret that shall not be made manifest, neither anything hid that shall not be known and come abroad. So the men of the Lord are candles that are helping to shed light on interpreting the scriptures. Dark sayings need candle lights to help interpret it and to shed light of understanding. So we need learned men, studied men that have the torch of wisdom to help interpret dark sayings. Shalom, beloved brother, Akia, Aramya. So now those things that were veiled are being unveiled. Now we know what these so-called UFOs are. And these naval pilots are scared. They said that these so-called UFOs are approximately 1,000 years more advanced in technology. They can just drop underwater. They can go through portals that the human eye cannot pursue or see. They don't leave a tail burn. It's called a tail burn or an exhaust burn, a trail that you can target with heat-seeking missiles. With no exhaust burning tail, then the pilots can't target the chariots of the Lord. Hey, you pilots about to get your ass kicked. Don't take it personal. I'm just telling you. No reason to shoot the messenger. But you Edomites, your technology is Fred, Barney, and Flintstone technology. Okay? Trying to go against Star Wars in an intergalactic battle. I'm just telling you. Hey, thank you. No heat signature. So the pilots cannot target a vessel that gives off no heat signature. They don't leave a tail burn. That's another term they use. And they can just disappear in a portal to go back into the fourth dimension, the third heaven. So how can you fight something like that, Esau? I'm an Edomite. I'm well trained. Okay, we'll see. We will see. Let's go here. Brother Shapah of the 12, 2 Ezra 6:27. For evil shall be put out, and deceit shall be quenched. As for faith, it shall flourish, corruption shall be overcome, and the truth, which had been so long without fruit, shall be declared. So the Lord is speaking the fruit of wisdom from his men's lips. So his men's lips are helping to nourish his flock. Okay? So we all have a responsibility to help edify, which means to build, building the third temple of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. When Yahweh Shai arrives, he's ready to occupy his throne. So his temple must be intact. The men of the house of David. So where is Buddha telling you of the things ahead? The mark of the beast, the Third World War, Armageddon. Where is Allah telling you about nuclear devastation? A Holocaust is coming, which means a burnt offering. Where? What's that Hindu god? Vishnu? Where is she telling us of the things to come, of the return of the Messiah or the Hamashiach? and the hosts of heaven, the so-called UFOs, that the Pentagon stood up a UFO task force to monitor and conduct surveillance. I think it's Vishnu. Where are the gods of the other nations? But the God of Israel, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, told us the things to come, told us what shall be in the last days. Brother Shaphat of the 12, Isaiah 46 and 10, declaring the end from the beginning and from ancient times, the things that are not yet done, saying, my counsel shall stand, and I will do all my pleasure. So the counsel of the God of Israel, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, has proclaimed the end from the beginning, and death is going to be swallowed up in victory. And you weak men are going to be eliminated that are not helping to push the plow, sounding the alarm when our damn air is being contaminated with raid, okay, chemical sprays. Our food is contaminated. Our water, 750,000 children missing every year. So if you're sitting back with your thumb up your ass, you are guilty as charged. And Eve needs to start reproducing with beta male simps. You're helping to contaminate the rest of the world. Let's go to Brother Shaphat the 12. Psalms 96 and 3. Declare his glory among the heathen, his wonders among all people. For the Lord is great and greatly to be praised. He is to be feared above all gods. For all the gods of the nations are idols, but the Lord made the heavens. So Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai is speaking in the last days. The other gods are quiet. You can hear a mouse peeing on cotton. They're so quiet. Where is Vishnu, Buddha, Allah? Where? Where are the Kemetic gods? What about the 2,000 or so Egyptian gods, or the gods of the Kemetic faith, the Hamitic gods? There's over 2,000 or 3,000 of them. Are they at a barbecue, picnic, kayaking, parasailing, bungee jumping? You tell me. Jumping off damn parachutes, airborne? Where are they? So the Most High told us this man was going to mandate an implantable digital device. The Most High told us Armageddon was going to, that the sequence of the upcoming events is going to culminate in Armageddon, the Third World War, and end in a Holocaust or a burnt offering. The Most High told us these things. So where are your gods telling us of the things to come? Nation against nation, kingdom against kingdom, nuclear war, catastrophic events, the population of the earth being significantly reduced, poisonous chemtrails, famine and pestilence in the last days. Show us your prophecies and your prophets. The other gods are parasailing or scuba diving, okay, underwater basket weaving, but they're not producing any prophecies. Civil wars are brewing up. Race riots are brewing up. That's that nation against nation, brother against brother. So we're going to see a slow escalation of intensity, friction, violence, and women and children always suffer 10 times more because you're going to find out you need a man. You've been taught nothing but lies here in the land of Babylon the Great, America. Brother Ernest L., Psalm 70 and 2. Let them be ashamed and confounded that seek after my soul. Let them be turned backward and put to confusion that desire my hurt. So the Lord is going to protect his anointed ones, his elect. He's going to preserve a remnant that have a hedge of spiritual angels around his anointed ones. The angels can see a thawah, or an exemption from judgment, on those that have the light and the oil of understanding and the torch that gives us this wisdom. Yep. Brother Gabar Adama, Isaiah 55:12. For ye shall go out with joy and be led forth with peace. The mountains and the hills shall break forth before you into singing, and all the trees of the field shall clap their hands. So if you don't have the Holy Spirit, you're thinking of a Wizard of Oz movie where the apple trees are clapping their hands and throwing apples. You see? So the nations are going to rejoice that are earnestly awaiting the sons of God to take the kingdom, the sons of Jacob. So these are governments. So the tabernacle of David is going to occupy thrones, rulerships, and the earth is going to spring forth in joy. When the wicked are multiplied, transgression increase. But when the righteous are in rulership, then people are able to see a joyous occasion, peace on earth, and be at rest. Isaiah 55:13. Instead of the thorn shall come up the fir tree, and instead of the briar shall come up the myrtle tree, and it shall be to the Lord for a name, for an everlasting sign that shall not be cut off. So everything is going to be put back in order. The trees are going to be in high reproduction. The fruits of the field are going to be natural again. No more genetic splicing, man-made laboratory meat, synthetic meat that make us sick. So everything is going to be put back in order, and the earth is going to reassume its natural course, and the nations are going to be happy and glad. Now, the earnest expectation of the creature is awaiting the sons of God to take the kingdom. So the governments are going to be set up under the house of David. So each nation is going to have their own lot by which to operate under and be at rest. So the earth is going to function under a new righteous administration, a new holy governing authority that's going to set the earth back in its rightful course. So these are nations that are singing and clapping, starting with the 12 tribes of Israel that are going to be ruling over the other nations in a righteous authority. Brother Gabar Adama, Matthew 3:11. I indeed baptize you with water unto repentance, but he that cometh after me is mightier than I, whose shoes I am not worthy to bear. He shall baptize you with the Holy Spirit and with fire. So the Holy Spirit is moving through the Lord's men today that have been baptized through adversity and that are born again and that are qualified to be teachers in the last days. So the men that are teaching in the last days been here before, that have already endured adversity and now are in the final leg of this reincarnation, this reiteration of the final generation of tests and trials, which is going to end in the test that's going to come upon all the world, the mandatory implementation of the digital device. So this is the final leg of the test of the trial of our faith and patience. We got to stop and think for a moment. What do we do when we cannot eat, when we cannot travel, when we cannot buy or sell? What do we do when our family is calling us crazy? Because we will not acquiesce or bow down to the image of the beast and accept his mark. Yeah, the final countdown. So that is a spiritual name of that application or app, TikTok. So the Lord's elect are back in the final iteration of regeneration to finish the test, to finish the walk of faith and patience, to continue along a straight and narrow path. So this is the seventh, or the completion of that regeneration of life. A just man falleth 7 times, which is a perfect number of completeness, of being built up to become lords, rulers. Yasharallah. Israel is Yasharallah. He is a prince of the power. So this is the final test. That's going to come in the form of this digital network and this grid being forced to be plugged in or linked in to these 15-minute smart cities. The final test of time and the trial and test of our faith. So this new world order needs compliance, and it needs a technocracy by which to operate. It needs force, and it needs digitization, because the people have lost faith, trust, and confidence in a system that is corrupt with child pedophilia, bribery, extortion, stealing money, cocaine transfers, methamphetamines. You see extortion and all types of corruption, fentanyl that's being circulated throughout the highest levels of government, transfer and trafficking children, human trafficking is big in the Ukraine. So America is backing the Ukraine. Drug trafficking. Why do you think the war was waged in Afghanistan? What is Afghanistan known for? The poppy seeds. Poppy seeds. So it's feeding into a global corrupt system of corrupt leaders. So this system is going to be brought down by a nuclear catastrophic holocaust, which means burnt offering. Brother Gabar Abatur, 2 Ezra 7 and 7. Let's keep going. Let's close out here. Yeah, we got to get this one. Brother Aramya, yeah, poppy seeds. Help me out there. Poppy seeds help produce, I think it's heroin. I think you can produce heroin from poppy seeds. So the elite know what's going on. They showed us in the movie Wizard of Oz. Yeah, heroin, where they were falling asleep in that poppy field. So they make mockery in Hollywood because they know the masses are ignorant and dumbed down. Very dumbed down here. So they're using drugs to help sedate the population and put us under a spiritual numbness, or our conscience is not clear. We're not thinking clearly. Why you think the opioid epidemic perfectly lines up with the invasion in Afghanistan in 2001? The opioid epidemic starts parallel or congruent with the invasion in Afghanistan. And then we saw the increase and the rise in fentanyl and opioid addicts. You can't make this stuff up. Why you think they're shadow banning the videos, taking down the videos? Yes, this ties back into pharmakia, which links into the English word witchcraft. That's why most of our men are very effeminate and bugged out, very passive, okay, with no testosterone. And a lot of our women are turning wrenches with oil all over them and underneath a damn pickup truck, wearing a bandana around their head and a hat turned backwards. So everything here is upside down. but it's normalized. Young boys are asked, what do they want to be? Do they want to cut off their plumbing? And the man is his authority has been usurped from him. He's basically has been just relegated to nothing. He has no say-so in what goes on in his own home. So this place is wicked. Here, let's read this. Brother Gambar Ayash, Revelation 18 and 23. And the light of a candle shall shine no more at all in thee, and the voice of the bridegroom and of the bride shall be heard no more at all in thee. For thy merchants were the great men of the earth, for by thy sorcery were all nations deceived. So they also use these pharmaceutical drugs. Pharmakia goes back to witchcraft during the Boxer Rebellion. They were making the people of northeastern China just bugged out on drugs. Look up Gary Webb, that was a former CIA member. He wound up deceased because he confessed that the CIA was planting drugs in the neighborhoods of so-called Negroes, Native Americans, and Latinos to help collapse the local communities and destabilize them. And they were funding the Sandinistas in the Iran-Contra war under the Reagan administration. How many remember Colonel Oliver North and that scandal and fiasco? So he admitted that the CIA was planting drugs and standing up drug kingpins. Somebody post the name of that famous black man that was making about $20 million a month or so. It was some ridiculous number that the CIA stood up in southern Los Angeles. And Ted Gunderson from the FBI admitted the child trafficking going on in the highest levels of political leadership. FBI member. Look up Ted Gunderson. Ted Gunderson, FBI. Now he's deceased. So every time you speak truth, and you wind up laying down in the dust, sleeping in the dirt. Yeah, Rick Ross, thank you. He was the CIA's man, Rick Ross. He wound up falling and doing 20 years in prison. But he was the point man in southern LA. See, all this is coming out now. This is why they got to mandate that digital device where your mind is going to be manipulated, or frequencies and signals, and you're going to be tracked. Your travel, your purchasing, your selling. Who are you congregating around? Because everybody's going to be a walking antenna. Aaron Russo, look him up, by the way. Aaron Russo did a interview with Nick Rockefeller. Nick Rockefeller asked, Aaron Russo was known for producing the movie Trading Places. He wound up dropping dead. But Nick Rockefeller said, why do you think we introduced women's liberation? Aaron Russo said, for equal rights and equitable treatment and to have a balanced system. Nick Rockefeller laughed and said, you idiot, we wanted to tax the fathers and the mothers, and we wanted to break down the basic family structure. We wanted to disintegrate the families. So now your father becomes big brother government. That becomes your mentor, your provider, your protector. So the husband and the father in the household gets rendered obsolete. See, so they create Section 8 government housing, alimony, child support. See, so Big Daddy government becomes your husband. So a lot of our women have been deceived by the system. And then they'll tell you if you're depressed or you're overworked from working manly roles, we got some drugs for you. We're going to numb that anxiety for you.
So come to Big Daddy Pimp, Big Daddy Government, and I can numb your anxiety for trying to be a man and operate above your natural design. I got some drugs for you. So that's the real pimp and the real drug dealer. Let's get this. Brother Shapab the 12, Micah 2 and 1. Woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it because it is in the power of their hand. And they covet fields and take them by violence, and houses and take them away. So they oppress a man and his house, even a man and his heritage. See? So the houses are being destructured. So we are destroyed as a nation, as a society. We don't own any lands. All the lands is under a international monetary fund. Why you think when you pay off your house, you're still paying about $20,000 a year in taxes? I thought you paid off your home. So we're all paying tribute to Rome, the revised Roman Empire, the global international bankers. Why you think Clown Schwab said, you shall own nothing and be happy. So through this central bank digital currency, then everybody is going to be given a certain portion of goods, supplies, and services. So they're creating a system under creeping socialism, which is really a communistic idea or business model. Bill Gates owned, actually it's more than that. Bill Gates owned approximately 280,000 acres of U.S. irritable farmland. So the food in the future, synthetic. So they're replacing the natural grown agricultural, natural healthy food, fruits and vegetables, with synthetic laboratory alternatives. So there's going to be a growing sickness, growing famine, growing pestilence and death. So this man must be stopped. But we can feel it that judgment is in the air. So part of that covet fields is land taken into their possessions and using it to do wickedness. There's multiple Epstein Islands. If you think there was only one Epstein Island, then you're an idiot. That was only one island. Okay, these multi-level billionaires and trillionaires can enjoy an adolescent or a toddler at their disposal. Billionaires and trillionaires don't get told no. Why you think 750,000 children just in America go missing every year? What about globally? Over 2 million children globally missing every year. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and close it there. So we're living in some serious times. Let's read this. Brother Hawashai, Proverbs 4 and 16. For they sleep not, except they have done mischief, and their sleep is taken away, unless they cause some to fall. So the global international elite are planning to lock everybody down or link them in to a digital grid or network, or even your thoughts are going to be monitored. When you're having sex, it can be monitored. Your vital signs, if you take this thing subdermally underneath the surface of the skin, everything is going to be monitored, controlled, and tracked. If you're going into cardiac arrest, or if you're getting ready to reach the top of the mountain with your wife, they're going to be able to monitor that too. He's getting ready to climax. Oh, heart rate sped up. Now the nigga is asleep. All of that is going to be monitored. I'm just telling you, don't get mad with me. I didn't make this thing or bring it into existence. I'm just the messenger. So they want total dominance, control, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week surveillance, and total manipulation of our psyche. Okay, this is MK Ultra on steroids. When you're able to manipulate or hack into the human anatomy. Yeah, look up that movie Minority Report. There's another movie called, I think it's called Implanted. Help me out. It was on what's that app? It was on Tubi. The movie was on Tubi, and I shared it with some of you. I think it's called Implanted. So a lot of these things they show in the movies, but we were called conspiracy theorists when we taught this thing, starting 30 years ago with the apostles, the elders. I'm gonna go ahead and end it right there. Let's read this one and we'll close out. Brother Gabar Ayash posted this. Sirach 10, verse 8. Because of unrighteous dealings, injuries, and riches got by deceit, the kingdom is translated from one people to another. So the Lord is going to cause major destruction in this next world war. So the thrones or the powers that be are going to fall. Their military, economic, political, religious system is going to crumble, collapse, and their economic grid. Everything is going to come falling. So it's going to be a world of total darkness and chaos. But the light of the world is going to shine upon his faithful, his elect, coming with healing in his wings into a land of gross darkness, chaos, massive bloodshed, disorder, and confusion. Sirach 10 and 4. The power of the earth is in the hand of the Lord, and in due time he will set over it one that is profitable. So the Lord is raising up kings that are standing up boldly in the face of an oppressive system that's built on corruption, bribery, witchcraft, seduction, extortion, human trafficking, drug trafficking, you name it. Look up Gary Webb from the CIA and Ted Gunderson, FBI. These are whistleblowers. They're both lying in casket beds right now because truth is under attack in these last days. Hopefully this lesson has been edifying. All praises to Yahweh B'Hashem, Yahweh Shai, B'Hashem HaKadosh. Double honor and respect to the elders and to the apostles. Yeah, Implanted. Look that up. It's on Tubi. The movie called Implanted. Every time she would resist the government, they would send electrical shock to her body. Even if her thoughts were rebellious, they would send some electrical shock throughout her body. They would zap her remotely. So hopefully this has been an edifying lesson. All praises to Yahweh B'Hashem, Yahweh Shai, B'Hashem HaKadosh, Barakathum, which means bless you. And Kwam Yasharallah, rise, Israel. See you on the next lesson, Lord willing. Love you. Peace be unto you. And stay prayed up in these last days. For the days are evil. Fast and pray. Because we're dealing with high-level wickedness and demonic dark energy in high places. The air we breathe is being polluted. The water we drink, the food we eat, the pharmaceuticals that we rely on. So the world is going to transition back into natural remedies, natural herbs, because the earth has to be replenished and healed from the damage that's been done to it. The earth is a living, breathing entity that must be set back on course. Shalom.